Hello everybody and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. So a lot of you got a kick out of my cursed Mandalorian theory video where I mentioned the idea of a Mando versus Mando clone fight and how it was going to tie into The Last Command very loosely. A lot of you hated that, rightfully so. The point of these theories is to make something that's just absolutely absurd, and I think I've perfected it with this next one. This theory plays into the Ahsoka series and the upcoming Mandoverse movie, whenever that's going to be coming out, since the big rumors and big theories right now are that the movie will be called Heir to the Empire. I started trying to put together some outrageous connections, and this is what I came up with. The big question on everyone's mind right now is, where is Ezra? How big of an appearance will he have in the Ahsoka series, and what will his role be? I don't think we're going to see Ezra in the show, at least not until the very end. And when we do see him, he's going to be in some back-to-tank or some form of stasis somewhere in the galaxy. I believe during the series finale of Rebels, Thrawn and Ezra got pretty banged up after jumping through hyperspace with a busted bridge window and probably landed somewhere with little to no hope for survival. Meanwhile, the Magistrate was using the star map to find Thrawn's location and bring him back. Thrawn recovers just fine though, as we can see him up and moving around in a flawless uniform, but Ezra is still nowhere to be found. That's because Thrawn put him into stasis, where he is currently being studied and his DNA is being extracted to make a clone army in Mount Tantus. Now hear me out on this before closing the video, because it gets worse. Think about it. In the original Heir to the Empire trilogy, Thrawn and Sabaoth had an army of clones that they grew in Mount Tantus. This way, Thrawn would have his army of clones, but they are Force sensitive, just like Gideon was trying to create in Mando Season 3. But Thrawn wasn't there in the Shadow Council, only Pelion, who was able to report on all of his findings during those meetings to Thrawn, where he could then take Gideon's idea and perfect it with a real Jedi, giving him an army that would reclaim the galaxy under the Empire. But the only hints to this we would see in Ahsoka would be at the very end, when we see Ezra floating in a tank next to several others, almost like the Force Unleashed trailer. And during the finale, we have to have some big fight, right? Well, Ahsoka and Sabine face off against Baylan and Hati, only to learn that they've been training Thrawn in lightsaber combat. From this, Thrawn and Ahsoka could have a dual one-on-one in the Heir to the Empire movie later on, where we could get one of those saber lock dialogue moments in which Thrawn would learn from Ahsoka that she was Anakin's apprentice, and Thrawn would mention how he met Anakin during the Clone Wars and when he knew him as Vader, and it would be an incredibly powerful moment. But Thrawn still has to have his end, right? But who kills him? Surely not Rook, right? Exactly, and not Ahsoka. Thrawn would be stabbed in the back by the real Ezra Bridger, who was able to break free from his cloning facility, and just before Thrawn falls, he says his famous line, "But it was so artistically done." Now, isn't that just the worst thing you've ever heard? I don't know, I find a lot of entertainment in coming up with these ideas, because imagine if everything I said was true. How trippy would it be to watch the story play out that way? I'd be speechless. Regardless though, I hope this didn't hurt your head too much, but please let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Did you like the idea? Could you add to it to make it worse? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video, and we hope to see you again very soon.